The weather has changed, it's springtime, and all of you are in a joyous mood. There's festivities all around, lots of fairs, melas, exhibitions. I hope you all are having a good time. So dear friends, I'm back with one more episode on Did You Know Facts About Indian Classical Music? So to discuss aspects of Indian music, I upload videos every Friday, and these are on one or the other topics based on Indian classical music and its origin and its forms and content. So let's see what makes vocal music stand out from other forms of Indian classical music. By other forms of music, I mean instrumental music. And there are so many classical instruments like the flute, the violin, the sitar, the sarod, the santoor, and many more. But in vocal music, what happens is that the performer or the singer uses his own voice, his or her own voice. And because they are using their own voice, it is a very organic sound. And this sound appeals to human ears very easily because we are also used to being spoken to by our mothers, fathers, right from our birth. When the mother sings lullabies or says little meaningless syllables to us just out of love and affection, we immediately recognize the sounds. So sounds made by human voice are very easily comprehensible and very easily acceptable to the human heart. And it also creates a very lasting impression. Not to say that this is any sort of disrespect to instrumentalists or any instrument, but all I'm saying is that the sound is an organic one and appeals easily. And the other aspect that makes vocal music stand out from other instrumental music is the use of lyrics. So when we are using sahitya or literature into our performances or incorporating some words in our performance, this gives it a separate dimension altogether because it allows the imagination to flow more easily. Words have meanings, and these meanings or these themes or aspects that they denote creates in the mind of a listener a beautiful mental picture. And this is so easy to achieve with the use of words or lyrics or a poem that the vocal music always uses. So what has been the themes that have been recurring in Indian music in vocal performances? So mostly we can note in conventional performances or in conventional gharanas and teachings that the topics which have often been repeated or the topics which recur over and over again are nature, then there are divinity, and the third one is love in all its aspects. But then you can say that literature occurs in folk music, literature occurs in semi-classical music, literature occurs in Bollywood music. Literature, by literature I mean the lyrics or the words that has been used in the song. So what makes classical music different? Why is it so special then? The difference is not in the words, the difference is in the attitude. The difference is in the way one approaches the lyrics. There's always a sense of upliftment or a sense of loftiness when we sing it in a rag, which is purely classical. If it is a semi-classical form, it would still adhere to certain norms of the raga, but it will deviate from the raga. It will use notes which are not specified to the raga. It will be more light in approach and tone, and it will talk about feelings which are not so lofty or which do not uplift your spirits to a higher level or to the achieving of that final union with the God or final union with the Parmatma. So what happens is the lyrics that are so commonplace achieve a higher meaning or achieve a higher pedestal or a higher sense or a higher value when they are sung in a particularly devoted attitude in raga music. Let's say, for instance, something very commonplace like the use of colors during the festival of Holi. Let me demonstrate this in two ways, in a light classical way as well as in a classical raga. And this will probably explain how or why certain themes, even though they are commonplace, by simply adhering to a raga and changing the way in which we approach the lyrics, it achieves a different level. बीरज में धूम मचावे शाम, बीरज में धूम मचावे शाम, मिलत सब सखियावे डरत गुलाल, मिलत सब सखियावे डरत गुलाल, बीरज में धूम पागा ममाग मगरे सा sa re ni pa ni ga ma pa ga ma ga re sa re ni sa biraj mein dhoom chave sham. So let's see if we sing this similar theme, or the theme of putting colors during the festival of Holi in a semi-classical form. How does it sound? Does it sound as lofty and grand as it does in a rag composition or not? So first of all, the tempo or the rhythm changes to a much lighter form. So we use Deep Chandi, or we use cycles called Ardha. These are not typically a very classical form of rhythm cycles. They are semi-classical forms of rhythm cycles, very appropriate to be sung in a semi-classical or a light classical composition. So let's see how this sounds. बिनती तोरे श्याम श्याम बिनती तोरे श्याम श्याम रे ना धारो नैन में ना धारो नैना में भग रे 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 ना धारो नैन में बिनती तुरे शाम ना डारो नैन में फगरी रे बिनती तुरे शाम. So that becomes a semi-classical or a light classical form of the same theme, that is the use of colors. Now you will say that in the trinity of themes that I have suggested, like nature, love and divinity, where does this fall? This falls under love, the playfulness of love in Bridge or Brindavan, while the colors of Holi are being sprayed between Krishna and the gopis. This forms the theme of the compositions. So the next theme that is recurring or repeated in traditional compositions in Indian vocal music is the use of nature. Let's see how a nature-based theme or a nature-based composition would sound like if it is composed in a particular raga. So these themes occur on seasonal forms as well, like describing monsoon, describing the rain, or during Bahar, describing the beautiful spring in the air, or sometimes just describing the beautiful rivers, mountains and the trees, like that. Let's see. Ghor ghor barasan mein har pal bijari chamake, har pal bijari chamake, mana dar piya lage. Ghor ghor barasan mein chha gayi andheriya, man बोल पिया पिया छा गई अंधेरिया, मन बोल पिया पिया गाम रे सा रे पाम बनी धनी रे सा नी पम प गाम रे सा. घोर घोर बरसन में हर पल बिजली चमके, मन डर पिया लगे. घोर घोर बरसन में आ आ आ सूरज साथ सुख दिन बीते, सूरज साथ सुख दिन बीते, कर्म साथ धर्म नाही बीते, कर्म साथ धर्म नाही बीते, सूरज साथ सुख दिन बीते, सूरज साथ सुख दिन बीते, सूरज साथ सुख दिन बीते, धर्म साथ धर्म नहीं बीते, कर्म साथ धर्म नहीं बीते, सूरज साथ सुख दीन बीते, दिन आए सो शाम अब आए, दीन जाए सो शाम अब आए, चंद्रमा के सहारा ले, रैन अंधेरी काटे उनकी किरण में, सूरज साथ सुख दीन बीते, सूरज साथ सुख दीन सुख दीन सुख दीन बीते. And finally, the theme that recurs often in vocal music is the theme of divinity or a reunion with the Paramatma or something to do with the gods and goddesses. These themes recur often in compositions. Let's see how. प्रभु मों पे दया करो, प्रभु मों पे दया करो, प्रभु मों पे दया करो, तू ही पालन हारा, मोरे मन को सुख दो, मोरे मन को सुख दो, प्रभु मों पे दया करो, तेरो ये ध्यान धारो, तेरो ये ध्यान धारो, तेरो उपासना करो, पार करो मों पे ये भाव सागर से, प्रभु मों पे दया करो. गरि सरि सा धरा सरि गा गा धरा सरि गा गा धरा सरि गरि गा गरि गरि सा धा सरि गा, प्रभु पग पद सा धा पद पग प गरि गरि सा धा सरि गा, प्रभु ग प प धा ग प प रि रे ग प प ग ग धा धा प ग प प धा सा सा धा धा प प ग गरि रे सरि ग प ध धा प ध प ग ध प ग गरि ग गरि सा, प्रभु मों पे प्रभु मों पे दया करो, दया करो, दया करो. Different forms or diversions in these topics comprising of nature, love and divinity. In divinity there will be philosophical songs, there will be lighter songs where there's playfulness with Krishna, Radha. So all the forms that are denoted by these three themes have been included in compositions through ages in Indian vocal music. So that's all for this episode. Stay well, stay safe and stay tuned for another episode of Did You Know Facts About Indian Classical Music. Namaste.